Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, home of the BitSquad, the largest and greatest crypto community in all of the interwebs. This is Around the Blockchain. My name is DZ_BTC. You can catch me on NFT Alpha Show as well. And we come to you Monday through Friday, 5:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're looking for someone to blame, I say blame Crypto Taco. But we're going to be talking about your favorite topics with your favorite guests. We're talking New York's proof of work. Is it free speech? Also, Coinbase and BlackRock teaming up, and Instagram furthering up its NFT department. But we're going to go start on the top right. First time on the show, and it is Crypto is Good. And we'll see if he's good enough to maybe win the episode. Whoever has the most points at the end gets to leave some parting thoughts. Then on the bottom right, he says it's a little bright, but so is his future. Talking about crypto blood. Dancer did some future right there. Then on the bottom left, you can see him sweating profusely because he's still in a Solana short. It is Crypto Lifer. Then in the top left with his $600 hat, it is Taco holding down the spot. Still rocking BitBoy's Twitter there. But we're going to be going over these topics. But before we do, I think it's important for us to see what is going on with the crypto market. Let's do a little market watch. And I want to refresh, make sure we have the most recent data here. Hopefully, it went down lower. I'm sorry. Every time I do that, it just seems to go down lower. We had Bitcoin break below the $23,000 level. Ethereum falling below that $1,600 level, all down about 3.5%. If you look at the 7-day, Ethereum down about 10%. We scroll just a little bit further. You see most all the alts kind of following in this range of 2 to 4% down lower. Crypto Lifer, we've been hanging on to that 23 level. I know 23 is a sore spot because you think of Michael Jordan and you're the Larry Bird of crypto, and you think of those Eastern Conference finals. But what is up with Bitcoin, breaking through that 23? Is it still possible for it to have that little bounce, that rally to 27, or is it looking like we're breaking below 20 instead?
I got some good news and I got some bad news. So let's take a look here. All right, let's start with the bad news is that I had this beautiful level at 22.8. The 800s have been fun. They've been fun levels to trade off and on. As you can see, this is a POC, which is called a point of control. If you're looking at what's called a VPVR or VRVP, however you want to call it, it's a visual range volume profile showing us where the volume is on the right side. Now, I was hoping we would hold that. We made a double bottom. It looked kind of nice, like a nice W this morning. Fell to the downside. There was a bit of a smaller falling wedge there on the smaller time frame. I'm looking for 21.9 to hold if we break this falling wedge here. However, when I double click and I look at my stochastics, they're attempting to turn on us, and the secret time frame, which has been, I feel like the market makers have been using more, this 22-hour is getting me a little excited. Look, every time the 22-hour made a curve here, we got massive bumps for Bitcoin. Also, the 22-hour got to oscillate all the way down. See, I use movement and price in ratio to stochastics. If you look at the stochastics every single day, like I do 500 days straight now, you start to understand, like, well, if I go from A to B, I usually get this much in price action. And I'll show you, each time we've gone from A to B, we're getting small. The bears are small. Like that was a big bear move, big bear move, big bear move. That's a smaller bear move. Yet we're back at the bottom of the 22, suggesting that we could get a nice bounce here to the upside. I have another fun little chart, a Samuel Cup and Handle here for the, the little cleaner version. And that goes all the way up here to about 26,756. So there is some hope here that we can hold this level. Also, one last chart I want to show, another chart I want to show is this. Look, this was a bear flag, broke out, but we retested the top trend line. We broke back up. We made an M pattern. Will this M complete and bring us back down to the low version of liquidity at 19,000? Very possible. I'm watching these levels very closely. However, these low Stokes are telling me on the 22-hour and the 4-hour, there's a good chance we can get a bit of a bump. One last thing, we must stay above the 200-day, the weekly moving average, right? The 200 on the weekly, however you want to call it. It's the 200 on the daily. And it's sad right now. We made a beautiful move above it. We're playing games right now. We're playing games. We're falling below it again. We cannot do this. This weekly candle must close above this yellow line, and we only have 3 days. It's not going to be a good sign. So I'm throwing some mixed signals at you. If that falls, I'm looking for a W back to the upside. Total, however, one last caveat, is above the 200 and staying above it nicely. I was wondering what the OGs here, if anyone wants to talk about that. That's got me a little twisted because every time that is the bottom. That is a bottom. I'm under the impression, a lot of me saying that we did hit a bottom, but you never know. I'm open-minded and always keeping cash on the sidelines. So I just wanted to give you guys that kind of overall impression of the markets, and you can take it how you will.
All right, now, Blood, let's stay on that. We're talking about this 200-week moving average or the 200-day there. We do have the total crypto market cap is holding above, but it seems like Bitcoin is fighting for its life. Is that just a sign of where things are heading? Bitcoin's going to have a smaller and smaller share? Or could we use this as maybe a little glimmer of hope that, hey, we're above it on the total market cap? I maybe would expect same things with Bitcoin.
No, not yet, man. I wish I could say that Bitcoin is going to play less of a role in the overall crypto markets. I think that unfortunately we have to keep our eyes on the fundamental news from the TradFi sector, that's traditional finance. And at this point, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not seeing structurally anything changing in our favor for the bulls. So I would say these are just moves, ups and downs in the markets. It's good to see this kind of decoupling from Bitcoin, but ultimately, at least up to now, the last 9 years I've been in crypto, the altcoins typically end up following where Bitcoin goes. So,
all right, Blood, quick question. We've seen that same chart where it says Bitcoin's going to pump, Ethereum's going to pump, blue chips pump, and then the meme coins pump. We saw it play out perfectly. We saw it play out perfectly in May. We also saw it play out in November, although the timeline was a little bit shorter. Typically, Ethereum would pump, 1 full month after Bitcoin. It started to shrink down to about 2 weeks, maybe 1 week there. Is that pattern still going to play out where once Bitcoin pumps, we can expect Ethereum to pump, and then we can expect the blue chips, and then we can expect the meme
I think
coins?
so. Yeah,
right,
for sure.
Okay.
I think I think Bitcoin is going to lead the way in the next rally. However, if you want to optimize or gain as much as you can on your portfolio, of course, you got to follow that trend. Lead up in with Bitcoin, then portfolio rotate out of Bitcoin into your altcoins to maximize your profits.
Yeah, and if you want to learn more about that, you can kind of check what happens with Ethereum and Ethereum Classic. You could also check out what happens with Bitcoin, then Bitcoin Cash. You'll often see just this same amount of time frames of the two pumps there. So just an interesting thing for those who like to spot trade there a little bit. But crypto is good. I kind of want to talk about what's happening in New York. It looks like they're trying to ban proof of work mining. This is a recent article. We have an attorney who might try to fight that because they want to establish a moratorium on crypto proof of work mining operations in the state of New York. We have an attorney. His name's Aaron Daniel. He's an author of the Bitcoin Brief, and he is saying, no, Bitcoin is just code, and code is just free speech. We're just talking about letters and numbers on a screen. How's that any different than me just writing a book? Free speech kind of equates to I can do whatever code I want. And when you look at the Bitcoin code, we're just essentially reading off a ledger and, kind of all agreeing on a transaction to go on this ledger. I just kind of want to ask you a simple question. Crypto is good, but is crypto free speech?
It's a very interesting conversation that they're having that the lawyer is trying to make, right? He's trying to say that it's freedom of speech because the miners are constantly publishing to a public ledger. That public ledger is what people are constantly looking at. So they're essentially writers to the public ledger. I don't know if it's freedom of speech, and I think it's kind of like a slippery slope what he's doing, and I'm as bullish on Bitcoin as the next guy. However, if we look at it from the other side, the problem is that these politicians are playing games as well. These politicians are targeting Bitcoin because it's a really easy thing. They're trying to lower energy usage, lower pollution in New York State. So they target Bitcoin because Bitcoin is a really easy thing to target because it's not a popular thing in the global consciousness, right? So they play politics and they try to ban Bitcoin because that's an easy target. So we have to play politics and play the freedom of speech card to try to fight it, right? That's all we can do. And I think there's a case there. I think it's really interesting, and it is true. These validators are constantly publishing to a public ledger, and we need them for our free speech in the public ledger, right?
Yeah, I would agree. That's a nice 3D chess explanation. I would agree. We are in a bubble. If you're watching this, we're all in the bubble together. But globally speaking, conscious-wise, yeah, Bitcoin isn't seen as this great thing. But I like that we're fighting fire.
Bubble? Is that what bubble we're in?
Nor is it like a bubbler. No, but yeah, fighting fire with fire. You use the green card, we'll use the free speech card, and we're seeing that. But Taco, we're talking about this Mr. Daniel guy. He says, if acts of disclosing and publishing information do not constitute speech, it's hard to imagine what does fall in that category. What are your thoughts on whether or not, Bitcoin is just code, so it's just free speech and it should be not banned whatsoever? Is there an angle of a environmental angle, power angle, rolling blackouts, happen, summers in high fashion right now? We have fires in California quite often. We'll see rolling blackouts across the state. Is it fair to ban Bitcoin mining? What's your 2 cents?
Well, thank you for having me on. I found out literally like 5 minutes before we were going on. So
yeah,
glad
no
to be
prep,
here,
no prep. So cut them some slack here.
But yeah, I mean, the whole thing about Bitcoin. Yeah, of course, it's always. Yeah, the whole thing about Bitcoin is they're trying to get it so when you mine it, you're not using energy. We're trying to like recycle the energy so it's clean energy. So Bitcoin, I feel like them trying to do something like banning it in New York. I mean, what's New York's deal with crypto? Like, they can't use Binance.
Wall Street,
Everybody in
baby.
the Pluto Alliance, we airdrop on the Binance Smart Chain, and a lot of people are having issues just retrieving that. So I think New York needs to lighten up and understand that Bitcoin is moving towards renewable energy. It's over 50% now. And if I remember, I think Elon Musk of Tesla said they're going to start accepting Bitcoin once it's above 50%. So the whole collective of Bitcoin and the miners, yeah, why would you want to waste all this energy and your Bitcoin is worth less? You have to pay for the energy to mine it. So the whole idea is, yeah, renewable energy, and that's what Bitcoin is moving towards.
Yeah, and if you want more information on what Taco's referring to, I would suggest Google Bitcoin and gas flaring, and you can that should be just good enough right there. And it's a deep dive; it's worth diving into. And yeah, there are ways for Bitcoin to be green. Just doesn't go with that common narrative that we normally hear. But let's move on and talk a little Coinbase and BlackRock. I have the Coinbase tweet right here. We're proud to announce a partnership with BlackRock. The Aladdin clients will now have direct access to crypto markets through Coinbase Prime. Coinbase Prime is their institutional service that they offer to corporations and such, high net worth individuals. BlackRock, 10 trillion assets under management. Yes, 10 trillion with the T, largest amount of assets under management in the globe. CEO Larry Fink did not make up that last name, straight out of central casting. Yes, his last name is Fink there. But we see two of the biggest players in the financial space. We have arguably the largest player in the Web3 space when it comes to finance is Coinbase. Biggest player in the traditional FI section there, BlackRock. Now they're teaming up. Is this a marriage made in heaven? Lifer, kind of want to ask you about the charts a little bit, though. I know you're not much of a stock guy. Stock's boring, but Coinbase is as volatile as a lot of these stocks. If you wanted to pull up the coin, it's COIN, of course. It seems to have pulled back some.
Man.
Of course, is nowhere near its all-time high when Bitcoin was high, when it launched with its IPO about, I'd say, 15 or 18 months ago. What is Coinbase stock looking like just from a TA perspective? Do we have a Sammy cup in handy here? I mean, is it looking like we got much lower to go? Or are we overbought and oversold?
DZ cup of Wheezy.
Hey, I'll take it. It sounds like my next mixtape.
Look, I mean,
Wheezy,
it tanked.
baby.
Number one, it tanked. Look at it. It's just a straight downtrend. Look at that. And its next big resistance, it has to get above. And the weekly's already above the dotted line. So it gave all it could and is getting rejected by the 21. I mean, that's probably coming back down somewhere into the 50s. It's struggling right now. I believe it will come back. Didn't Kathy Wood unload all of it too? I mean, she dumped it. So once she dumped it, kind of dumped it on everyone, right? Circling back to that other law they're doing, they're not banning all mining. They're banning incentives to use certain types of electricity. So they're weaponizing the law, just like they used a publication weapon. They did that with publications. You can go into that article, but Coinbase is trash, right? I talked about it today on my live. I wanted to give someone a birthday present, $100 on my live stream yesterday. And I went to buy $100 worth of Bitcoin, and it was, 23.5 or 23.280, and they were charging me 23.380. And I was like, on the live stream, like, why do you have to gouge me for $120 more than the actual spot price? Like, it's not gold, man. Like, stop trying to give me gold at cents of price. Anyway, BlackRock, biggest stinkers of the game, hanging out with Coinbase. Coinbase already didn't have a good, taste in a lot of the OG crypto people's mouths, and now it kind of is just sliding further in. One good caveat: we need institutions in. I'd like to see them pile on in. I mean, this means a lot of people might be buying into Bitcoin. It could pump the price to the upside. So I love them and I hate them.
Okay. All right. Well, crypto's good. We have, like crypto life.
Actually, I don't love them, but
Okay.
I love the fact that they're going to pump our bags, but I'm not happy about
Hey,
who
I love that too. Crypto is good. Like Lifer said, they're raising a little bit of a stink. And then we got their CEO, Larry Fink. But I want to know what you think on the amount of assets they have under their control. It's $10 trillion. I know we could do the moon math. Imagine if 1% of that 1% was invested in crypto, but let's actually play that out. If a very insignificant percentage, less than 1%, but say more than 0.01, do you think that's enough to move the markets? We've seen what can happen just off $20 million worth of sales or $20 million worth of buys. It will seriously move that Bitcoin price. Is there any kind of game theory here that, hey, maybe new all-time highs before having? I mean, what is it looking like to you?
It undoubtedly will cause the market to go up, right? They have a $10 trillion portfolio in and are high value. We're
gonna change his bandwidth. Good, you're coming in just a little spotty, so we only heard about half of that first sentence. I don't know if you can hear me.
Let me just jump in real quick, DZ.
Yeah, blood, jump in.
I wanted to jump back on the New York thing as well. I think that it was a stretch. That article was a stretch by that lawyer, because at the end of the day, we all have Second Amendment for guns as well too, right? But all states don't recognize or allow you the freedom to really fully exercise that Second Amendment. So I think it doesn't matter what the Constitution says. They're going to change the laws, move the goalposts, and do what they want to do. Now, to the Coinbase BlackRock thing, this is one thing I think you guys are maybe missing here, which is concerning to me on this topic. Yes, it's good for us who are in Bitcoin and in crypto. It's going to pump our bags. But we want the rest of the world to get into cryptos. We want the little guys to, benefit from this new technology and new asset class. And if these guys are getting in at this point where 99% of the rest of the world hasn't, it's really only going to enrich the rich, make them more money. And by the time the little guys gets in, it's done data. There's no more economic or wealth potential for them. So it's just a little concerning. We see that Wall Street and the investment class, they're getting in. We see that. We just want the little guys to get in and get a piece of this wealth transfer. And it doesn't look like it's going to happen.
Yeah, I would agree. Every wealth transfer we typically see with the Bitcoin cycle is the guppies feed the whales. It's just happening on a much, much larger scale. Good. We could
That's
see.
why I love Crypto Blood. He's always for the underdog. I just got to say that.
Absolutely.
He's the man.
Unless
Plus
they wear
one
too much blue. But speaking of wearing blue, good is your. What were your thoughts on the amount of assets they had under management? He's figuring it out. He's gonna work it out. If not, we'll have to move on. Taco, let's bring it to you. BlackRock, they went with Coinbase. Could you foresee some possible collaborations with other Web3 products? Are they going to team up with KuCoin later? Are they going to team up with FTX? Or is this just a one and done deal with Brian Armstrong?
Well, I just wanted to touch back on Lifer's chart and to go back to the first candle on the Coinbase IPO. I bought into that candle, and it was at the highest point literally it ever touched. I bought it at like 440. So yeah, just a little info for you guys. No one's perfect trading, and you think something's good when it's really not. So BlackRock, I mean, they've been in the news a lot. They're buying up all the real estate and doing some shady stuff there. So Coinbase partnering up with them, it's kind of sketchy in my book. I'm just gonna stay on the sidelines when it comes to ever buying Coinbase stock again, I think. And them partnering with BlackRock it's So yeah, it's just a little sketchy in my book.
No, man, jump in. You gotta lower that average buy. Crypto good. I kind of want to switch gears just a little bit for this question here. We have Coinbase. They have some legal woes, right? SEC keeps mentioning them. They're going after them for a little insider trading, but now they're teaming up with BlackRock, who's shaking hands with all those politicians, all those regulators. Oftentimes, SEC, those spots are just filled with investment banking positions. You'll see the CFOs from these giant firms end up just working for the government. Is there any possibility that Coinbase teaming up with BlackRock could help them legally?
Absolutely. I don't know if you guys saw the blog post that Coinbase did a couple of weeks ago where they called their entire market the crypto securities market. That to me was a pivotal moment where Coinbase decided to sort of bend the knee to the government and to the big whales of the entire system, right? It's a really interesting watching Coinbase sort of go from who they were, which was the entire crypto world's market, and then becoming more and more institutional. And this connection with BlackRock is probably connected to that, right? So BlackRock wanted to make a deal with them, and they were like, no, we're gonna settle our stuff normal. We're gonna do the crypto securities. We're gonna be the government's lapdog, and you just give us some money. Which, like we just said, it's gonna make the Bitcoin the Bitcoin pump. It's gonna make the prices go up, but it is gonna make it more centralized and in all of the hands of the whales out there.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely maybe something to explore there. If not, just by association, maybe, hey, you need to give 100,000 to that guy's super PAC or that guy's super PAC, and that's really how you get things moving. So, all right, let's talk a little Instagram, Zuckerberg, Sweet Baby Rays, and NFTs. We have Instagram. They're rolling out more of the digital collectibles to 100 more countries. It's going to allow the people, the creators, and businesses to showcase their NFTs on Instagram. And this is also on the heels of them launching Coinbase Wallet, Dapper Labs, and Flow blockchain integrations here. So really big moves there, especially, oh God, I know he loves all those chains there. Now, CEO Mark Zuckerberg, he said he's all in on the metaverse, even though he's receiving criticism from investors, from outsiders, but he has all the voting power. So what Mark says, Mark goes. And I think they're down, they're losing tons of money. They're invested $10 billion. They're down billions already. But he shows no signs of slowing down on this bet here. Now, Lifer, they're posting, it was $2.8 billion loss in this metaverse division. With implementations like this, I mean, is this a step in the right direction and is success over the next hill? Or is this forever going to be a money drain on Mark's pockets?
Every big move, right? Like, specifically is a futuristic move, and when you pull a futuristic move, you're down for a while. Like all of us, we started a YouTube channel. My YouTube channel didn't make squat for a year and a half, 2 years. No one even cared about me, but eventually it came out with a vengeance, and we pounded. We got a Lifer gang now. So you start, and you got to start to mine, and and honestly, it looks like a huge loss. And I don't like Zuckerberg at all. I really don't. But I'm just a business guy, and I'm going to break down business for you right now. I mean, he put 10 billion in. He's only down 2. That ain't bad. That's growing pains. It looks like he's down huge if you just look at the article, down 2.8 billion. He could take a 50% loss and bounce back. I mean, I guarantee he 4 to 5x's that 10 bill easy in the next 10 years. Let's be honest. He's going to have the infrastructure, the money, and he's going to be able to get the programmers, or he's going to be able to train the programmers for the new incentives that he needs. This man isn't going to stop. I don't see how he's going to lose, even if he only gets a small portion of the market share, and he's going to get a bigger portion than that. So I see this as a good incentive. He's digging himself in deep now so he can get paid later on. This is 10, 20-year investment. He's looking to the future. Don't like the dude. I like Sweet Baby Rays.
Hey, we all love Sweet Baby Rays. Here you can see Mark
I don't know
Zuckerberg.
him, but
he's hitting the water. Close your eyes, children.
Oh, God, that's insane. How can you do that?
Oh, my God.
Zuckerberg does squats.
Photoshop.
Why
can't be real?
Not touched
Please,
That's
please.
a real thing. Maybe his color corrected there a little bit. I don't know.
Man.
But,
He
all right.
looks like he looks
I mean, we
like
need to
Ashley
change his
Larry,
name to
man.
Sweet Baby
He
Ham.
looks like Ashley Larry over there.
Keeping his face safe,
You get
man.
a point
That's
just for
fun.
that. That was really good, Blood. Blood, I saw you shaking your head. Was it the Dapper Labs, the Coinbase
No, I'm
wallet, or
shaking
the
my head at
Flow?
Flow blockchain. Deezy.
Now,
on, man.
to be fair, just to play devil's advocate, it's obviously for the credit card integration. So let me ask you this. Is credit card integration necessary for Instagram to have success with NFTs, since it is such a non-native audience? Or would you go with education as the way, make them have to download that wallet?
Credit card for sure. Credit card. First, let me just say I agree with Sam, Crypto Lifer. Listen, long term, long play, Facebook is going to win. That's just, we can tout and pout and do all that. At the end of the day, they got big pockets and they're playing the long game. So they are going to ultimately win. Facebook needs to pay whoever made the idea or came up with the idea to acquire Instagram. They need to pay that person a lot of money, because that was a very good move and it's panning out very well for them. This is going to be a huge success for them. I hate Flow, NBA Top Shot disaster. They can stop your NFTs, change them, pause them. They can do whatever. It's not even, what is it? You know what I mean? So I just hate that they go with these types of blockchains, but it just, to me, it shows me and should show you guys out there that these companies aren't going to use blockchains that are widely available and readily decentralized. They're going to go with something that's more centralized that they can feel safe with, because it's their money they're putting up. So they want to have as much control over it as possible. It just is what it is, man, unfortunately.
All right. Yeah, it looks like maybe the tide is rolling out on Zuckerberg. That was a pun intended there.
Oh my
All right,
God.
let's crypto is good. I've been liking your takes here, man. So I kind of want to go, let's see. Crypto Blood is saying they are going to succeed. They're probably going to be the winner. I certainly was in that camp a year ago. I'm a little bit not so sure these days. Vitalik came out. He predicted failure. He just said this recently. He predicts Mark Zuckerberg's metaverse is going to be a failure. First off, is it going to succeed? Is it going to fail? And if it would fail, do you think opening it up to Ethereum could be the secret to success there?
No. I think it's going to fail because not because of Flow. I think that was just an implementation model, and they're very confident that whatever NFT technology they use, that's just going to be it. They don't really care. But I think it's going to fail because Facebook is not known to be an innovator. Every single project that they have created has been something that they either copied over. Facebook was a copy of MySpace, right? Or they bought, right? Instagram was an acquisition. WhatsApp was an acquisition. They haven't never created anything from the ground up. And what they're trying to do with this NFT world is they're trying to copy OpenSea or copy what Twitter did with the profile pics. But after you get that very narrow use case, they're going to have to innovate. And like I just said, they're not innovators. I don't see it. I don't see, they have deep pockets. They're going to get stuck. They're going to do a lot of R&D. They're going to waste a lot of money. And then somebody else is going to come in and create something way better and much more interesting.
Okay.
I think they're going to leverage their Instagram user base and really knock it out the park. Honestly, it's not going to be their Facebook user base. It's going to be their Instagram, WhatsApp user base that they're going to monetize and really attract a lot of them over to the metaverse.
What do you think there? So their use case will be to create a metaverse and then sell people NFT clothing and
they'll just
NFT
buy the
avatars.
best metaverse, won't they? They'll just like they
that
bought
too.
WhatsApp and Instagram.
Yeah, they'll acquire they'll acquire the best
just
one.
be like, hey, come on over here. We got the billion.
Yeah.
Yep.
I do have a Sibby hot take. I think if they do win, I think it is possible. And if they do win, it will be because access into the top metaverse shouldn't cost $10,000. And we might see that where people say other side or other deeds that's the number one. But then people are going to say, I literally have to pay $10K to join. There's going to be a whole influx of people who can't afford that. So they might be the popper version, the dollar store version, you just slap on your Oculus and just your quote unquote in. But the cool kids, they're going to be, surfing like Mark Zuckerberg with their Bored Ape.
NFT Alpha is going to be up in
yeah, I'll be rocking my mutant, I'm going to be in the expensive one because, I've watched it fall $100,000. So now I feel obligated to hold on to it. All right. Enough of my woes there. Taco, let's, move on. He is also stating, when by he, I mean Mark Zuckerberg, he's saying the metaverse, part of the reason they're betting so hard on this strategy and why they think they'll be successful, he says the metaverse is the successor for mobile phones. So we all live on our mobile phones. He's envisioning, maybe more of an AR style, maybe not so much the VR style, where You got it on at all times. You're walking down the sidewalk. You're in your Uber. You're at work. You're walking the dog. You got your AR. You're plugged in. Is the metaverse, quote unquote, going to be the successor for mobile? Are we all going to be touching things in the air and seeing, Pokemon that aren't really there in the park? Or are we going to be using our phones for the next couple decades?
Well, if he came out with that Pokemon Go app, I mean, I think that was the most peaceful the world has been in a long time. But I don't know. I don't know about that. Like a metaverse on your phone. Like, don't you want to be like looking at a big screen and being immersed in it? And on a phone, I mean, if it comes out to the next generation, like augmented reality, I don't know. I mean, it's decades away, I think, or at least like 5 to 10 years away before we see this generation coming up who knows they know Facebook as Meta. They don't even know it as Facebook. Kind of my generation going forward, they know it as Facebook, and they have that bad taste in their mouth still. So it could be kind of like they're missing this like middle generation that I'm in, but they're going after this upcoming one who are playing these games on their phone online, and it's going to be the best game that wins. And right now in crypto, I can only think of the other side that really stands out. I think they had like 4,500 players on their like test version, like 3,500 people streaming it. So I think they're further than anybody. And I mean, yeah, you can own the land, but I'm not gonna think. I don't think they're gonna make it so you have to own land to even play. You could probably be on your buddy's land, and who knows what's gonna happen. But I think Meta is on the right track, and they shifted their whole entire business model to do this. So yeah, they're gonna try everything they can to make it succeed.
All right, point. And for those wondering, I do have a other deed. DZ Land will be open for all. Everybody's invited, no paywall. Everybody can come on in, unless you have Polygon NFTs, then you're not invited. But that looks like that is all we got time for today, and it looks like Crypto Blood narrowly edged out Lifer and Good. Crypto's good. It was great having you on, man. We're gonna have you back. But Blood, go ahead, take it to the streets, man. Feel free, lead us with some parting thoughts.
Yeah, man. Thanks, DZ. Always a pleasure coming on. Guys, go follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok. On Twitter, I am CryptoBlood_. On TikTok, CryptoBlood_ as well. And of course, don't forget my YouTube channel, CBTV, and follow all these guys too. Great dudes. Give Crypto is Good a good welcome. First time on. It's your boy Crypto Blood.
Yeah. First time on. Let's make sure we show them that BitSquad hug of death. And, make sure you stay tuned. Frankie Candles is going to be live shortly. Link is in the description. And until next time, BitSquad, easy out.